We're going to be taking another speaker to come take us on DAOs and on chain governance and everything else in between in the person of Fiyin Odebunmi. Odebunmi. A round of applause for him, please.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Nobody's answering me. Are we tired? Are we tired? Please don't be tired. Okay. Um, my name is Fiyin Odebunmi. I'm the co-founder at Early Code. At Early Code, we're on a mission to train the next billion Africans in next-gen skills. And my talk for today is titled DAOs and On-Chain Governance. Please, I would like this conversation to be more interactive. And if possible, please reduce the noise at the back because we'll find this very interesting. All right? Okay. Yeah, so this is the question. Hadao's dead. Before we start, so I'm a design engineer. I've worked with a couple of startups. I've also been in a couple of DAOs like Juicebox DAO, Bankless DAO, Rarible DAO, um, and Moon DAO. All right. So the question is, are DAOs dead? All right. Um, Recently, I believe we usually do not talk about DAOs enough. We've seen people having interesting conversations around Web3 rebranding. Talk about chain abstractions. You talk about um, stable coins, right? And we don't really talk about DAOs. And I think DAO is a very critical aspect of the ecosystem. All right. Um, I started my crypto journey in 2021 thanks to Dogecoin and Elon Musk. All right, that was in 2021 when Dogecoin and Elon was always tweeting about Dogecoin, and my curiosity led me to this space. All right, uh, let's get into it. Well, I still work. Okay, yeah. So a DAO is an internet native, blockchain governed, collectively owned organization working towards a shared mission. So a DAO is basically a decentralized autonomous organizations. It's basically like a traditional company where you have a CEO, you have a CTO, you have a COO, all right? But in this case, there is no central leadership, all right? There is no COO, there is no CEO, there's no CTO. There are just a group of token holders who makes decisions on a product, right? Yeah, so on-chain governance is a system where votes and decisions are recorded on the blockchain. Um, I believe that one of the biggest use cases of the blockchain is on-chain governance, all right? Because when you're making decisions on the blockchain, you're not entrusting uh, the results, with a middleman or a person, but yeah, you're entrusting these on a smart contract. And of course, a smart contract is a computer program which automatically executes agreements on the blockchain. All right. Decisions are governed by proposals and voting to ensure everyone in the organization has a voice and everything happens transparently on chain. So in a DAO, every member of an organization has equal rights to make decisions, in the team. There was a time, like few weeks ago, I saw a tweet on X, which was around organ-led companies. I don't know. Did anybody see that? Do we use Twitter? Ah, do you guys use X? Okay, let me call it X. Nice. So there was an argument on Twitter about organ-led companies. That if you don't understand that in Yoruba, it means when a company is only led by the ideas of just the CEO. All right, and you as a team member, you ask yourself a question. I'm also a member in this team. I should be able to contribute, to the success of the product or a startup. All right. So in DAOs, you have the opportunity to make decisions or to be part of the decision making process. All right. Yeah. So DAOs are member-owned communities without central leadership. I just mentioned that in a DAO, there's no CEO, there's no CTO or COO. There's just a couple of members with a couple of token holders, who have equal rights to make decisions. And of course, it's also a safe way to collaborate with internet strangers. All right. It's also a safe place to commit funds to a specific cause. Um, a few weeks ago, I also saw a guy, a CEO of a company, who misused $1.5 million of a company. And if you don't see that as a challenge, I see that as a very big challenge because you ask yourself a question: what exactly are you going to use $1.5 million to do? You probably use it to carry, I don't know, maybe Lecky Beeps, I don't know, right? So I think one of the ways we can solve these issues, because trust is a very critical aspect of humanity, all right? One of the biggest ways we can solve these issues is to make it a DAO, all right? Because even if you're going to, say, withdraw some funds, it all happens on chain, right? You can verify that. Thank God we have, um, we have platforms like Etherscan, because you can see how your friends is transacting on chain. You can see everything, on chain. Um, for, for some of us here that are familiar with DAOs, that's Discord, where you have different guilds. You have the Governance Guild, you have the Treasury Guild, you have the Lego Guild, you have the Developers Guild. You also have the Design Guild. And in the middle, you're seeing a picture of um, community members, just discussing, how the project is being run. And then we also have here snapshots where proposals are being voted on, right? I mean, you can, if you have your phone here or your laptop and you have internet connection, you can go on snapshots and you will see different DAOs. You see how proposals have been voted on, and that can only be achieved if you are a token holder, all right? Because that gives you your voting power. Yeah, so I made this organogram of a traditional company. You see the board of directors, you see the CEO here, and then you see the executives here, and then the employees are like at the bottom of the food chain. All right. And then you ask yourself a question, which is, why am I not up there? Or why is there a central leadership who even have, more access to the company's budgets? All right. Yeah, so a DAO, you just have a couple of token holders, a proposal, and a treasury. DAOs are a powerful tool for creating decentralized, community-driven organizations. With DAOs, you don't need to trust anyone else in the group, just the DAO's code, which is 100% transparent and very variable by anyone. So if you're a founder here or a builder, and you're trying to build a product, and you probably have issues with trust, because uh, I believe one of the greatest inventions of uh, in our time is internet, all right? And of course, you find yourself collaborating with internet strangers, and you find it difficult to trust them because you don't know where they're coming from. You're not sure if they're going to run away with your money. And this is where DAO comes in, all right? In a DAO, you don't need to trust anybody because 100%, it is 100% transparent and verified by anyone, all right? So yeah, it's simple. DAOs has been called DAOs have been called a group chat with a bank account. A group chat is something like a Discord or Telegram, and of course a bank account, which could be a treasury. Yeah, examples of how you could use a DAO is to build scalable products, investing in startups, buying art and assets, funding research, and raising money. If you've used Juicebox, Juicebox is a DAO, and they actually built a decentralized crowdfunding platform, to raise money for Web3 projects. We've also seen DAOs investing in startups like Metagame. Um, we've also seen DAOs, funding research and raising money. An example is Constitution DAO. They raised over $47 million in 7 days in an attempt to buy the original US Constitution copy. All right. So I think the purpose of my talk today is because I was here last year talking about DAOs, about how you can earn in a DAO, about how if you're here maybe struggling for jobs, you can actually do your research, find DAOs, and of course you can be a contributor, and then you earn tokens. But today I'm here to challenge you to build a DAO. You can actually build a DAO. All right. Um, yeah. Lastly, this last slide, which is the internet let us share information globally. DAOs let us work together, trust each other, and coordinate in a fair way on larger scale problems than ever before. And maybe a DAO could be the next billion-dollar organization like Stripe. Um, Africans are mostly seen as consumers, all right? And I believe if we're really going to build the future of Africans, where every African will have access to true freedom, is when we start building our own solutions, becoming producers. And how we can start doing that is by building a DAO. And I believe the next DAO could be the next $1 billion organization like Stripe. All right? Thank you for having me.